I was always a guy who was hiding the fact that I was virgin. I couldn't talk about this to anyone ever. Basically, it was my deepest, darkest secret that I always keep to myself and act as I'm successful with women. If you watched my video about rock bottom transformation to life I'm living now, you can get context. Basically, when I was younger, it was obvious why I was virgin. But as years went on, by 26, I actually become like a fairly attractive guy. Like I was working a lot on myself. I was going to the gym. I was trying to improve, even build a business, and everything was going well except dating and talking to women. I was basically scared to talk to women, and even on the messages, every time I was trying to message a girl, I was obsessing about messaging that one particular girl because I was in scarcity mindset. I knew how I was supposed to talk to women. I knew the tactics and everything I read in the books, but when real life comes, it was absolutely impossible for me. I would freeze, I would even shake. But what changed then was basically I met a guy who was very, very charismatic with women. He was younger than me and he was like just basically natural alpha. And I decided to learn from him. I decided to drop my ego and just basically here and there ask him questions about women, about what does he send, but still trying to keep my best to appear as a guy who can get women. And then with time, we even started like approaching girls together, and just being with him and learning from him made it possible for me to slowly get over limiting beliefs and over my fears. Then at that time I decided to make a Tinder. Keep in mind that over all those past years I kept improving my appearance. I kept working on my looks. I kept training in the gym. And then when I made a Tinder account, I got 30-40 matches in 1 week, and I was surprised because a few years before that, when I tried Tinder, I got zero basically. And then as the time went on, I messaged girls every single day, like many girls at the same time, and I started copying his tactics. Basically, his tactics were everything opposite of what I was thinking I should do. He had this messaging style which was basically very dominant, and I thought before that it was very rude. But seeing him being successful with this completely changed my mindset about this. And I started like messaging girls, like basically with 2-3 messages I send them, let's go on a date. And I would be so surprised that they accept the invite like immediately. I don't even ask for Instagram or number. I just ask for the date immediately and they accept. But the Tinder is of course the looks game. You have to have good looks. That's why you have to work on your looks. You do looks maxing and you do gym. After some time having a lot of matches, it boosted my confidence a lot. I finally saw that I was worth something, that I had some value as a potential date to someone. And then I decided to go to my first date, but actually it was not my first date. I had my first date like 4-5 years ago, but it was pretty bad and it was awkward. But this time it was much better. I had enough confidence to make a decent date. It was basically like in coffee shop and we had a nice talk for 1 hour, but I was still anxious. I was still not confident enough. Then after 1 month I decided to go a new date. For some reason this date I immediately got all the confidence. I even surprised myself. I just started acting more confident. It was not like myself before. Basically I broke limiting belief in my brain and I activated something. It was just a click in my brain and I started acting differently around girls. After this moment it was never the same. Basically you need exposure. You are still scared because you are not trying enough. You didn't give yourself enough chances. But how I got this charisma, how I activated, I don't think it would be ever possible if I didn't retain, if I didn't practice semen retention, because it gave me the energy and confidence to actually have this charisma. Charisma is just your natural state of yourself without any fears. I believe that every man can have charisma and confidence. You just need to destroy your limiting beliefs and your anxiousness. That's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for anyone who is watching, and subscribe if you want to ascend together.